Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new review. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. And my name is Ben. This is That Cologne Guy. I bring you new content every single Friday, and I welcome you to your weekend. As always, if you don't have too much to say, let me know your scent of the day. You have seen the title and the description, so you know this is none other than Bon Monsieur by Rogue Perfumery. And this was yet another sample sent in by Dr. Goo over at Locked Scents. So thank you very much for sending all of these in. I do really appreciate it. So let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? This one is a 2020 release from Rogue Perfumery. It is another one of those houses that was founded by a self-taught parfumer. It's my understanding that the parfumer, Manuel Cross, wanted to, as a hobby, and delve into making perfume, and then went ahead and started creating his own concoctions in his own house. So Rogue Perfumery is the house by Manuel Cross. And as a self-taught parfumer, did he do a good job on this one? Well, you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out. Let me say from the very get-go, as I've said before, I am not normally a fan of barbershop fragrances. You really, really have to sell me on them because they really end up, for me, smelling like the old folks' home. I just don't really care for them. Even if they're great, though, I just don't really care for them in general. And why might you ask? Am I giving away my bias? Because, my friends, this I really, really liked a lot. In fact, I'm just going to let you know now. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. A couple things I want you to know about this fragrance that will be particular to this video. Number one, I do think it's close enough to say that it is a niche version of Drakkar Noir, but I want to say I do feel like that's selling both of them short because I'm a huge fan of Drakkar Noir, and I'm also a huge fan of this one. That is to say, I do not think that go get Drakkar Noir because it's close enough to this one and it's a lot cheaper. Really makes a lot of sense because I feel like they're different enough. I don't feel like this was a dupe or even inspired by necessarily Drakkar Noir. I feel like they are different enough. I have had, this sample, and I've had multiple bottles of Drakkar Noir, so I feel like that's what I wanted to say. This one is not just merely an expensive version of it, as some have claimed. The other thing I want to say also, sometimes you guys think I'm giving too many glowing reviews. I'll just tell you right now, I absolutely hate Tsar by Van Cleef and Arpels. To me, I remember the day I received it years ago, and it lasted about 24 to 36 hours in this house. It is the epitome of the old folks' home. So for me, it is 2 thumbs down, and you must know that I am the absolute minority. People love Tsar. They love it. And the benefit of having a channel that's extremely small and watched by very few is no one is really going to care. But I just want to say that really quick. I do not at all think that this is anywhere near Tsar by Van Cleef and Arpels. I detest that fragrance. It's one of the worst I've ever had in my house. That's just my opinion. I felt like saying, "Nurse, will you help me take my pills?" It is horrific, and it's an absolute classic loved by many. So that's just the way this goes. It's subjective, I know. And I think what Manuel wanted to do here is create some sort of nod to the late 80s and early 90s of a true gentleman's barbershop fragrance. And I must say, he hit it out of the ballpark. He really did, because as you can see, I absolutely seared through this in a matter of days. I just could not get enough of this. I really, really, really enjoy wearing this one. And if I were to recommend one barbershop fragrance for a mature gentleman, not an aftershave because I did that recently, I would go with this one actually, because I was tempted to get it, but in the end I'm pretty content with the collection that I have. That said, if I were to get one barbershop fragrance currently out of all the I've reviewed, this would be it, because it just has an addictive quality to it that I can't quite put into words. But I guess my best approach is to say it just really rides the fine line between mature but not being too old, gentlemanly but yet being rugged, and I really appreciated that about this fragrance. So if you are in the business of getting, if you like barbershop fragrances and you have not stopped watching this video because I dissed on Tsar, well then you should absolutely get your hands on a bottle of this. It does cost too much. It's one of those niche. It's on Lucky Scent. It's too much, but most fragrances are. So overall, it is a very nice lavender. In terms of notes, this is really a very, very nice lavender, blended very well with oak moss and bergamot. And then I also get some cedar, and definitely, that's why I think of kind of the late 80s and early 90s. You definitely get some geranium in there, carnation elements to it. There is a floral element to it. It almost at times has like almost a little bit of like brute with some floral in it. I want to be careful with how it smells though, because I just think it smells like really, really expensive luxury shaving cream. And I want to leave it at that. My daughter said that it smelled to her like 5-star hotel shampoo. And I'm kind of along that lines too, only I would say instead of shampoo, I would say shaving cream. It's definitely a mature gentleman's shaving cream smell that is very, very addictive. So far, so good. When it comes to projection, longevity, and sillage, I also have good news for you, because I felt like this did pretty much what I wanted it to, and then some, actually. It held really, really well in terms, don't forget, last week I reviewed Fougère Gothique, which, nothing will... it will last longer than Cher's career, okay? That's how Keith Richards will die before your one-day application of Fougère Gothique expires, all right? Goes away fully. Seriously, if you put it on your watch band, get ready for weeks upon weeks, and that's only one spray. So coming off of that one, I was very, very pleased with this guy here in terms of the longevity, projection, and sillage. Longevity was a solid 6 to 8. No problems getting to the 8-hour finish line. Same way with projection. This is a 4 to 7 hour, maybe even 8 as far as 1 meter, 3 feet from the body. So all systems go there. And sillage, walking past people, I do think that you would get noticed and recognized. And I just think it's a wonderful, wonderful fragrance to leave a very good impression for the right age group. Okay, so yeah, all good news in those categories. Now, in terms of the season, this one has this was another fresh lavender with a lot of pop to it, and it is quite, just refreshing. And so I am going to go with a spring, fall. And then, of course, I think it would do just fine in the summer. And if you like barbershop, you're fine in the winter. I wouldn't necessarily, gravitate towards something like this in the heart of winter. But that said, it's going to come down to whether or not you like this type of fragrance. When it comes to gender, I'm going to say this is a whopping 95.5. This is another one of those fragrances that, if you're going to call it a very masculine, mature, confident barbershop, shaving cream, I think this is a 95.5 split on gender, and I think people who own it, who actually bought it, and it's their signature scent, will be 95% men and 5% women. And then on age group, there are two things going on here. This is a 35 and up on age, with the one exception of if you truly just really love barbershop fragrances, then of course you just get a free pass because you'll love this one at any age. But really, this is going to be targeted towards 35 and up. Clearly, a very confident man who's accomplished a lot in his career and has a very high level of self-assuredness, calm, confidence, but not arrogance. So, splendid. I have no choice but to give this a 5 out of 5, and really the only dinger the only reason why I wouldn't give this as probably the best overall barbershop fragrance that I have reviewed so far, I would have to say that in the end, I would not give this a 6 out of 5, the elusive bonus spray, only because of the price. And again, that's just me being slightly grumpy. I've told you before, it's actually difficult to give gushing reviews. It's much easier to give very critical reviews. And there's not much else to say, really, other than I wish it were cheaper. It's just really that good. Okay, so I'm going to go with 5 out of 5 sprays for this barbershop, soon to be called classic. 5 out of 5. Bon Monsieur Rogue Perfumery. First one with this Perfumery. Absolutely enjoyed it. Didn't think I necessarily would, but oh, did I. We're going to go one on each wrist, one on each side of the neck, and one right on Sparting itself. Boom. 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 And boom. You know, another one that I was thinking, by the way, earlier, when I mentioned quickly something like Brut, it has a little bit of Patrick in it. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of that one, and it has kind of an Irish Spring bar of soap kind of feel to it. Patrick is another one. There's just a little bit of that in here, but again, this really holds its own. I bet if we interviewed Manuel, he would say something along the lines of, I wanted to create something that was contemporary, modern, yet harkened back to a finer day of the late 80s and early 90s. And oh, did he hit a home run in doing so. Really enjoyed it. I hope you have a great week. Let me know your scent of the day and or scents of the week. And always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. So welcome to the bonus feature. I just wanted to take a minute and specify the price because remember, I withheld the bonus spray because I said it was too expensive. So get ready for this. For a 30 ml, so that is less than a half bottle, right? So if a normal bottle is 100 milliliters, you're looking at approximately 1/3, slightly less than that, of a normal bottle, and that is a whopping $85 on Lucky Scent. And on Lucky Scent, a 75 ml, so that would be, of course, between the 1.7 ounce and the 3.4 ounce. So right in the middle there, that is looking at a whopping $156. So if you wanted to get a little over 100 ml or a normal bottle, 105 ml actually, it would cost you what? About roughly 250 smackers, and that's just far, far too much for this fragrance. So that is the only downer, and that's why I withheld the elusive, highly coveted That Cologne Guy bonus spray. Have a great week. I'll see you next Friday.